Our next presenter is a 2009 inductee. He's known as one of the smartest minds at the independent level of the modern era in professional wrestling. He gave birth to the ECWA Super 8 tournament, which is very well known in the independents, and a lot of independent stars get their notoriety from that tournament. Even being involved in that tournament gives you brand recognition. It's always a great step in your career if you're an independent professional wrestler. Please welcome to the stage, Jim Kettner.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank Joe Bruin for inviting me to be part of this evening's ceremonies and giving me the opportunity to induct my good friend Mike Hollow into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I wondered how to start the speech. Should I give facts or should I just tell a few road stories? But I thought road stories seemed to be kind of lowbrow and cheap, so here's my first one. Mike actually started in wrestling by working on the old WWE, then WWF ring crew in the late 1980s. We all know that working such duties brings you in contact with a bevy of beautiful women who like to follow the crew from town to town. Mike, being the ever-popular ladies' man, asked one of them out on a date. She was so excited. She went out, she got her hair all done up nice, she got a skin treatment, one of those mud facials, she got her fingernails all polished and painted. She looked great for 3 days, then the mud fell off. I see Howard Finkel smiling. I may never make it to Raw, but my joke will. Anyway, I asked Mike, I told him I wasn't a public speaker when he asked me to induct him. So I asked him his advice. He said it's very simple. You start out with a joke, you settle the audience, and then you talk about the long length of my career and all my many accomplishments, and then that's it. So in conclusion of my speech, I want to say thank you. As I mentioned, Mike Hollow started traveling with the WWE on the ring crew and eventually decided to become a wrestler, which led him to enroll in Killer Kowalski's wrestling school. Training under Kowalski afforded Mike the opportunity to learn the craft the correct way, and he was able to work singles matches against guys like Steve Lombardi, the Smooth Operator, Perry Saturn, Chris Duffy, and Brian Walsh. Around that time, a new group called the Atlantic Wrestling Federation was formed in New England, and the promoter teamed him up with another young star, Jim McCarthy, better known as Duke Stoll. The two were called the Annihilators. They became great friends, and over time, they gelled so well as a team, they were booked all over New England, and then back into the ranks of WWE for television dates. As a team, they worked guys like Scott Taylor, Tim McNeamy, the Bushwhackers, and the Dudley Boys. As a singles wrestler, Mike worked on several independent shows and eventually won a tournament in Connecticut to become the first NECW heavyweight wrestling champion. Mike was also working local house shows and TV dates against such names as JBL, Al Snow, Gangrel, and Dean Malenko. Mike was then invited to be in a WWE Super Bowl commercial that aired in 1999. If you blink, you missed his appearance. Can you imagine? Preparation lasted for 3 days and he was only on for half a second. Sounds like my honeymoon. I digress, I'm sorry. There is usually a turning point in one's career when you settle in and find out your destined path to stardom. Mike's opportunity came in 1998 when he was invited to WWE's first dojo with other such notables as Edge, Kurt Angle, Mark Merrill, Val Venus, Matt Bloom, aka Tensai, Steve Blackman, just to name a few. What Mike learned at the dojo was very valuable, not only as a performer, but even more importantly as a trainer. It would become his claim to fame and his legacy in the industry. The dojo gave Mike first-hand knowledge of what WWE was teaching and what they expected from their incoming talent. He was able to go back to the wrestling school and help train aspiring young athletes. In 2001, he left Killer Kowalski's school and took some time off to start a family. After being out for a while, Mike returned to wrestling and helped open the Chaotic Wrestling Training Center, where he would once again team up to train students with his teacher and mentor, Hall of Famer Killer Kowalski, who had partnered then with the school. Mike had finally found his stardom in wrestling, that of being a trainer. It's funny about trainers and mentors. All superstars need them, but most times their names get reduced to a memory or a brief mention in speech. Some of the most respected trainers in wrestling never went on to become superstars, but what they passed along helped lay the foundation for many superstars on all levels for many years to come. Training with Mike at CTC were names like John Walters, Vince Capallo, Arch Kincaid, Handsome Johnny, Brian Alonis, the Logan Brothers, Chase Delmonte, Kofi Kingston, who we now see on WWE TV, Aaron Stevens, now Damian Sandow on WWE TV, and Johnny Fandango Curtis, who is also on WWE. Mike worked as a consultant for Chaotic Wrestling and kept busy with his wrestling school, which at one point had 75 students. His success in training students started to catch the eye of others in the industry. Before long, Tom Pritchard, Tommy Dreamer, Ty Bailey, Johnny Ace, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Goldberg, Pat Patterson, John Cena, The Rock, and many others would all visit his training center. Mike could look at a person and know right away if he could train them to be a wrestler. He had the uncanny ability to work in one ring with guys who were on the cusp of going to the WWE, yet in a moment's notice he could switch gears, jump in another ring, and lock up with guys who were starting for the first time. All students were important to him. His training would include all forms of the basics, and he taught the art of storytelling in the ring by using another of the lost arts, how to tell a story by putting together moves that made sense. Mike always found that the best form of progressing students from one level to the next was to teach them what they needed to know on the level that they were at before advancing. Mike has been an excellent trainer, and his name is legendary within the industry with the success that he's had. He is a master of teaching the fundamentals and basics of pro wrestling. Mike Hollow, or Coach Hollow as he is affectionately called, was inducted into the Chaotic Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2010 and wrestled his last match on their show in 2011, where his young children, Mike and Ava, got to see their dad wrestle for the first time. A perfect finish, we would say. A fantastic dad, a great performer, a tremendous, respected, world-renowned trainer, a legend in New England pro wrestling, and I might add a great friend who is celebrating his 46th birthday today. It is my pleasure to introduce and induct into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame the coach, Mike Hollow.
An awful long story, but Jim, thank you. He and I spent many nights, Denny's after the Chaotic shows, talking about wrestling, talking about the matches, the talent. So Jim, thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. Michael and Ava, Billy, hello guys. Glad you guys came here today. You know, it's funny. Like my children, they want to get into the wrestling business too. Kind of a controversy at the house, but as I tell them, follow your dreams. There I was, 5-year-old kid, 46 today, and you never thought I'd be standing here today, but here I am. A lot of great stories, a lot of great accomplishments. Probably the biggest thing that I'm proud of is I had the opportunity to work with Killer Kowalski. Work at a school, develop a relationship with him. Walter was unbelievable. Then from there, we were able to go to Chaotic Training Center, as Jim had mentioned, develop students there and trying to teach the guys the right way in terms of being in the wrestling business. Not a lot of that still goes on today, but we definitely try to go in the right direction.
Probably the most important thing that what I always wanted to do in terms of when I was training or teaching new students was always make a good impression, good first impression. Make the people notice you as well as you always say to me. Make the people notice you and become a star. It's interesting, I've been out of the wrestling business now for probably 3 or 4 years. Busy with my children, busy with work. But you come back to an event like this and see guys like Jim and some of the other people, and you get that itch. So I think at some point I'll go back and do it again. It's an honor and privilege to be here. The professional wrestling business that a lot of us that are involved in, the greatest business in the world. You wouldn't trade up for anything. It's a good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thank you.